All right, so get this. Ethereum ETFs with staking might actually be happening.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, right?
So we're going to take a deep dive today into this Crypto Chatter article titled, "Is the SEC about to approve Ethereum ETF staking?"
Mm-hmm.
And this could have huge implications for Ethereum's price and for everyday investors too.
For sure. So basically what's happening is the SEC has officially acknowledged a filing for a 21 shares Ethereum ETF
Oh, wow.
through the SIBO BZX exchange. And the really interesting thing is this ETF would actually allow investors to stake their Ethereum.
Whoa. So it's not like just tracking the price.
Right. It's not just like those other ETFs out there that just kind of follow the price. This one would let investors earn staking rewards.
Oh, wow. That's a game changer.
Yeah, could be. This would be the first US-based ETF to offer this kind of direct staking integration. And they're even looking at a couple different methods to make it easy for everyone, like staking as a service and delegated staking.
Okay, so for our listeners who maybe aren't as familiar with those methods, can you break those down a little bit?
Yeah, so staking as a service is basically like you're outsourcing your staking to a third party.
Hmm.
You know, they handle all the technical stuff and you just get the rewards.
Okay.
It's like hiring someone to mow your lawn.
Makes sense.
Delegated staking is kind of similar, but instead of a third party, you're delegating your stake to a specific validator on the network.
Okay.
It can be a little more hands-on, but you often have more control and transparency.
Got it. So it's really about, convenience versus control.
Exactly.
Because the ETF provider would handle all the complex staking stuff,
Right.
but investors still get to choose their preferred method.
Yeah, that's the idea.
This is big stuff, especially if it opens up staking to a whole new group of investors.
For sure.
But what I find super interesting is how some of these big institutions are reacting.
Mhm.
We've got Fidelity just pumped another $24.47 million into Ethereum,
Wow.
bringing their total holdings to over $1.27 billion.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
It's like they're saying, hey, we believe in Ethereum's future.
Absolutely. It's a clear sign that institutional interest in Ethereum is still really strong.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, we have Grayscale. They've actually sold off about $5.45 million worth of ETH recently.
Interesting.
Now, this might seem like they're, less bullish on Ethereum compared to Fidelity, but it's not that simple.
Right. It's important to remember that Grayscale still holds a massive $3.54 billion worth of ETH.
Wow.
They're actually the second largest holder.
Really?
Yeah, so this sell-off could actually be a strategic move,
Right.
like they're rebalancing their portfolio.
Right?
Maybe getting ready for these new Ethereum ETFs to hit the market.
So instead of being a sign of doubt, it could be them making room for these new investment products.
Yeah, exactly. It
Okay.
makes sense for a big player like Grayscale to diversify.
Totally. So we've got these big institutions making their moves in anticipation of this potential ETF.
Right.
How's all this affecting the price of Ethereum itself?
Well, we've seen some interesting price action lately. Ethereum bounced back from a key support level of $2,644,
Okay.
and it's currently trading around $2,736. The next big test is the 20-day exponential moving average.
Okay, the EMA.
Yeah, which is at $2,784.
So for people who are like, wait, what's the EMA? Can you just give like a super quick explanation?
Yeah, so basically it's like a line on a chart
Yep.
that represents the average price over the last 20 days.
Got it.
So it gives us a good idea of the short-term price trend.
So if Ethereum breaks past that $2,784 EMA,
Right.
what could happen?
Well, we could see a rally toward $3,114 and maybe even hit that $4,000 target.
Oh, wow. $4,000 Ethereum.
Yeah, some analysts are predicting that.
That would be huge.
Mhm.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Right.
Are there any other price levels we should be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, for sure. We always want to be prepared for any shifts in momentum.
Yeah.
So definitely keep an eye on the support levels at $2,600 and $2,224. If Ethereum dips below those, it could be a sign that the bullish trend is changing.
Got it. So we've got this potential ETF approval, potentially driving prices up.
Yeah,
But we also got to watch those support levels just in case things turn around.
definitely.
And to add even more excitement to this whole situation, we've got BlackRock and NASDAQ jumping in with their own proposal for Ethereum ETF options.
Oh, wow. So they're not just sitting on the sidelines.
No, they're getting involved.
Interesting. What do you think is driving this surge of interest from these big financial players?
Yeah, is it just about potential profits, or is there something more going on here?
That's a great question. It seems like there's a bigger shift happening.
Well, it's like a whole bunch of things coming together. The technology's gotten a lot better, and people are starting to see the real use cases for blockchain. and DeFi.
Yeah, it's not just like some abstract concept anymore.
Right? These institutions are realizing that Ethereum is like a platform for innovation.
Mm.
It could totally change how traditional finance works.
And they don't want to be left behind. Exactly. They're seeing the shift happening, and they know they got to adapt to stay relevant.
Right. And the crypto market is just massive now.
It's huge. Billions of dollars are flowing into it.
It's not something these big players can ignore anymore.
Nope. So it's not just about, FOMO or whatever. It's about strategic positioning
Right.
in a world that's moving toward decentralization.
And this Ethereum ETF approval could really accelerate that.
For sure. It could bring in a whole new wave of institutional adoption.
Imagine investing in Ethereum becoming as normal as buying stocks or bonds.
Exactly. ETFs make it so easy for institutions to get exposure to crypto.
Yeah, without all the hassle of managing it themselves.
Right. It's like building a bridge between traditional finance and the crypto world.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of the crypto world, let's talk about Ethereum's price again.
Sure.
We talked about that 20-day EMA and the possibility of a rally to $4,000.
Right.
But are there other things besides this ETF news that could affect Ethereum's price?
Oh, yeah. There's always a ton of stuff going on in crypto. Yeah.
One big thing is just the overall sentiment, and what's happening in the economy.
Like all the stuff about inflation and interest rates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those things can really impact the entire crypto market.
So even if things are looking good for Ethereum specifically, those external factors could still come into play.
Absolutely. And then specifically for Ethereum, there's also all the development and upgrades happening on the network.
Yeah, the merge to proof of stake was a huge deal.
It was a massive milestone. Can you remind our listeners why that was so important?
Yeah, why is proof of stake such a big deal for Ethereum's future?
Well, before the merge, Ethereum used proof of work, which was really energy intensive.
Like all those mining farms.
Yeah, proof of stake is way more sustainable. And it also makes ETH deflationary.
Deflationary,
Yeah. So basically, a portion of the transaction fees get burned now.
Oh, wow. So it's not just good for the environment.
Right.
It could actually make ETH more scarce over time.
Exactly.
Which could drive up the price. It's all connected, isn't it? This space is so fascinating because everything's intertwined.
Yeah, you've got the tech, the economy, the regulations.
It all shapes how Ethereum and the whole crypto market will evolve.
You got to stay informed and be ready to adapt.
For sure.
Speaking of navigating the crypto world, our article from Crypto Chatter also mentioned cold wallet security.
Oh, yeah, that's super important, especially with all this exciting stuff happening.
With more institutions getting involved and crypto becoming more valuable.
Right, you got to make sure your investments are safe.
They specifically recommended the Ledger Stacks and the Trezor Safe 5.
Those are both great options. They're really secure, but they're also designed to be user-friendly.
Because let's face it, if a security solution is too complicated, people aren't going to use it.
Exactly. These newer cold wallets are a good balance between security and convenience.
It's like having a high-tech safe.
Yeah, with a fingerprint scanner.
It's about giving people control over their crypto.
Exactly.
And protecting their financial future.
As crypto grows and becomes more mainstream, individual responsibility and security are going to become even more crucial.
So if you're holding any significant amount of crypto, a cold wallet is essential.
It's a must-have.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and think about the bigger picture here.
Sure.
We've been talking about ETFs and prices.
Right.
But what does all this mean for the future of finance itself?
That's the big question, isn't it? We could be witnessing a total paradigm shift.
A fundamental change in how we think about money and the financial system.
It's like traditional finance and decentralized finance are colliding, creating something entirely new.
It's exciting, but also a little scary.
It is. We're going to see both opportunities and challenges.
Will these traditional institutions fully embrace decentralization?
Yeah. Or will they try to hold on to their power?
It's like a battle of ideologies.
Centralization versus decentralization.
Control versus empowerment.
And we don't know how it's going to play out.
Yeah, but one thing's for sure, the future of finance is being written right now.
And we're all a part of it.
So let's encourage our listeners to keep exploring this space.
Yeah, keep learning and thinking critically about this stuff.
Because the more you know,
the
better equipped you'll be to navigate this crazy, exciting world. All right, so we're back. And, before we get to that final thought-provoking question, I wanted to touch on something you said earlier about individual empowerment in this new financial landscape.
Oh, yeah, that's a really important part of this whole thing. At its heart, DeFi is about giving people more control over their money and their financial decisions.
So it's not just about making profits.
Right. It's bigger than that.
It's about shifting the power dynamic.
Yeah, instead of relying on banks and institutions, we
Well,
can manage our own finances.
it's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It really is. It has the potential to make finance more inclusive and accessible for everyone.
That's a powerful idea. But it also comes with responsibility.
Oh, absolutely.
If we're really in control of our financial future,
Right.
we need to be educated and make smart choices.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, especially in a space like crypto that's changing so fast.
That's why these conversations are so important.
For sure. We need to break it all down.
Yeah.
Explore the good and the bad.
Right.
And help people make informed decisions.
Okay. Well said. So let's get to that final thought-provoking question we promised our listeners.
All right, here it is. If this Ethereum ETF staking approval actually happens, how do you think it will change investing?
Wow. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Not just in crypto, but in traditional finance, too.
Exactly. It's like we're trying to predict the future.
But it's definitely worth thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
Because if ETF staking goes mainstream,
Right.
it could have ripple effects throughout the entire investment world,
Imagine earning passive income through staking becomes totally normal.
like getting dividends from stocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Suddenly, anyone with a brokerage account could do it.
That would be a massive shift. And it's not just about access.
Right.
It's about changing how we think about investing.
Totally. Traditionally, it's been about buying and holding.
Yeah, hoping the price goes up.
But with staking, you're actively participating
You're contributing to the network.
and potentially earning rewards for it.
It's a much more dynamic way to invest.
For sure. It could force traditional finance to step up their game.
We might see all kinds of new products and services popping up.
Yeah, blurring the lines between traditional and decentralized finance.
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with this thought. This is just the beginning
Hmm.
of a much bigger conversation about the future of finance.
And that's a conversation we all need to be a part of.
So keep learning, keep thinking critically, and be open to new ideas.
And always ask those tough questions.
Yeah, the answers might surprise you.
The possibilities are endless. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring.
And remember, the future of finance is being shaped right now.
You have the power to be a part of it.